All right. I think we're up. There we go. All right, so I'm going to cover the rest of the... Oh, boy. I'm going to cover the rest of the F1 teams here real quick. I managed to keep the first two videos to almost exactly 30 minutes. So I'm going to try and do that again. But we're going to get through 5 teams. So a couple of teams are going to get shortchanged. All right, so first team, let's see. We are looking at Electrixz. I'm just going to call him Electric. Electrixz team. He just took over Jared's team here recently and has already made some trades. So, looking at Electrix's team for 2024, so he's got Lamar, who has been passed around a ton in this league already. The old owner of Lou's team drafted him and then traded him to Reish, who traded him to 24, who traded him to Jared, and now Electric has him. So he's got Lamar and AR, who he got off of Nate, and that's it at quarterback. But he did just trade for the 1-3 from me, so he's going to probably turn that into Jaden Daniels or maybe Drake May. So he's pretty set up at quarterback, assuming that he does, in fact, use that pick that way. So solid at quarterback, can definitely compete at quarterback. I unabashedly love Anthony Richardson. It would not surprise me if he is like a top 3 finisher in 2024 in terms of fantasy, at least fantasy points per game. Obviously, injuries are a concern. And Lamar, I'm famously kind of meh on Lamar, but there's no arguing with the season he just had, and they figured to run the whole crew back for 2024. Things are looking good for Lamar, at least for the foreseeable future in fantasy. So that's all well and good. So he's got that. He's got ETN, Bijan Robinson, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard may be staging a hostile takeover of the Carolina backfield, so that's legit. Dante Foreman, Chase Edmonds. Okay, that's pretty much it. So he doesn't have really Dick else at running back except for ETN, Bijan, and Chuba, but that's certainly respectable. You know, two of the most valuable properties in the running back position group in fantasy, so that's nice. All right, wide receiver. So Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, Adam Thielen. I mean, Sky Moore, that's a joke. Okay, and then a bunch of scrubs. Okay, so wide receiver is where this team is hurting bad, in my opinion. A lot of people are going to say, oh, Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, this team is set for the future. I don't buy that. I don't think Tank Dell or Zay Flowers, either one of them ever goes for 1,200 yards in a season. I just don't think that's going to happen. I could be wrong, especially on the Dell side, obviously, with the Houston offense being, possibly like a top 3 unit next year. But that's my gut feeling on the subject. And as such, I don't like this wide receiver group at all. So I think wide receiver is a huge problem for this team. And then he gets McBride, who is tremendous and fantastic, and we all love that. So yeah, I mean, it's about tight end here, and then let's look at the picks. He's got no second this year. He's got no first next year. And then everything else is pretty much vanilla. Okay, but he's got a couple. Oh, he's got 3/4 this year. That's something. All right, so the picks are fine. The 1.3, like I'm a big Jaden Daniels doubter, at least at this stage. But his upside, his floor in fantasy, kind of speaks for itself. So that could be very nice. Yeah, wide receiver. I think he needs at least one more wide receiver because I just don't trust Dell and Flowers. But I could be wrong. I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. All right, so yeah, this team, if I'm wrong about the receivers, this team is probably a playoff team, at least a wild card team. If I'm not, this team could sputter pretty bad, especially he's almost definitely going to use the first on a quarterback or trade down. And having no second, yeah, it's going to be tough to get wide receiver reinforcements without pulling off a bunch of other moves, which he might do. So, yeah, it comes down to the wide receivers for me. Everything else is definitely ready to contend right now. Yeah, Jared left behind a nice little roster before I fucking launched into the moon. Fuck out of here. Fuck you, Alex. All right, moving on. Who else we got? All right, let's do Sanj real quick. Sanj isn't gonna watch this, and none of us really like Sanj, so we'll make this quick. Sanj, of course, hilariously, famously, took like 7 quarterbacks in the first 14 rounds of the startup draft, and they are all dead and buried, brother. He took Daniel Jones. He took Desmond Ridder. He took Deshaun Watson. He took Sam Howell and then traded him. He took, who else did he take? Anybody who was a bum, he took him. Kenny Pickett. So he was just on a quarterback spending spree, but he forgot to try to get good ones. So now he spent all that draft capital at quarterback, and he is the most quarterback needy team in the entire league. So that's terrible. He's got McCaffrey. Obviously, McCaffrey is very nice. And Pacheco could be. I mean, I still don't know what the future holds for Pacheco. He could be, a stalwart presence for the Chiefs, like he has been for the last, season and change for the next few seasons. And he could burn out very quickly. Neither would really surprise me. So I like Pacheco. I'd rather be selling Pacheco personally, but I do like him. Jalen Warren, a lot of people are saying, hey, Arthur Smith, that means the backup running back is going to do very well. And that would definitely be Jalen Warren. It's a very difficult time to be excited about any Steelers. They're definitely the offense that we have to be the most pessimistic about right now going into 2024. People are probably going to start getting fired in Pittsburgh. They don't have the quarterback. The head coach is maybe a dinosaur, and he brought in the wrong OC in all likelihood. So this is going nowhere fast. And Tomlin. They're probably going to give Tomlin an extension this offseason and then quickly regret it. So, not loving anything about the Pittsburgh offense. So I don't love that RB3. Josh Jacobs is nice, but we don't really know where he's going or what his situation's going to be. We don't know. So Jacobs is nice, but not his value is definitely down, year over year for me. There's so many running backs out there that are going to be looking for new teams. All right, so wide receiver, he's got DJ Moore, lovely. Michael Pittman, lovely. OBJ, yikes. Jerry Jeudy, oh dear. I still believe in Jeudy, but obviously a lot of people don't. Boy. Okay, Curtis Samuel, suckbag. Hollywood Brown, slight suckbag. Darius Slayton, New York Giant, same thing as a suckbag. Wicks hanging out on the taxi squad, that could help. All right, so the wide receivers are okay, but very top-heavy. And then tight end, looks like he's got a lot of tight ends. He's got Evan Engram. He's got Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst. I always get him and Hunter Henry messed up. Ertz, Gesicki, Mark Andrews, Juwan Johnson. Okay, so he's got the best tight end group in the league. Okay, this is not a playoff team as presently constituted, but he does have 2 firsts. They're both late though. You get two firsts in 2024, no second. So that late first almost is his second. And then no 2025 second either. Okay. This team, Sanj kind of famously just kind of checked out mid-season. Like he stuck around for the startup draft or the early part of the season, and then he just kind of got bored, and this team kind of reflects that. So this doesn't look to me like a playoff team. With the quarterbacks the way they are, unless he gets busy quick, he's not going anywhere. So sorry, Sanj. All right, from Sanj on to Scuoler. Andrew Scuoler, our fearless leader. More bad news. More pessimism. So Scuoler traded his first and Brian Robinson to our own Ben for Brock Purdy, which Purdy was a nice get. Unfortunately, his first turned out to be the 1.2. So he's going to wind up having traded either Caleb or Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brian Robinson for Brock Purdy. That one hurts very, very, very bad. All right, so anyway, he's got Purdy, he's got Fields, and he's got Derek Carr, which is not bad. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Fields. Nobody knows. The arrow seems to be tipping toward he's going to get traded at this point, but we don't know. If somebody comes in and offers the Bears 4 firsts for the Caleb Williams pick, are they really going to turn that down? I don't know. So it all hinges on what happens with Fields this offseason. Is he going to land cleanly on his feet as a starter for Atlanta, or I don't know, something weird like Seattle? We just don't know. There is a possibility that Fields is sitting behind somebody, sitting on the bench in Week 1 in September. I would say that's slightly less likely to happen, but it's definitely in play. So there's too much uncertainty with the quarterbacks here. Carr did just get a restructure that kind of doubled as an extension, so he's got some nice job security. But yeah, he's strictly a QB2. All right, so the running backs, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, a couple dinosaurs. He's got Gus Edwards, who's all three of his top three running backs are free agents. Yikes. Algier, he's got Kevin Harris, Abanikanda. Okay. So yeah, the running back group is unbelievably tenuous and quite old. Big range of outcomes. I mean, Eckler could have another top 10 running back season in him. I know that's a lot of people are saying, what? No way. He's done. He's over the hill. That could be too. But this is a guy who can catch 80 balls. And that's a guy that you have to take very seriously in any sort of PPR format like the one we're playing in. So Eckler's not dead. Derrick Henry, same thing. I mean, he's old. He's 30, and he's got tons of mileage on him. If you look at Derrick Henry just physically, he is so clearly a physical outlier from any other running back, even big-bodied running backs like Nick Chubb, Rashad Penny. He's conformationally different from those players. So I just don't fully buy that the standard rules apply here for like when he's going to break down, how much mileage his body can take. I genuinely don't believe that we know that he's subject to the exact same version of those rules of thumb. So Derrick Henry is very interesting. If you were to sign with like Baltimore, and Baltimore has nothing going on at running back, everybody was a free agent, I would love Derrick Henry. So yeah, and I'm very interested in Derrick Henry regardless. So there's a lot of risk here. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of volatility going on here for these running backs, but I like he. And then Gus Edwards, I mean, he desperately needs the Ravens to re-sign him because he is just a one and a half trick pony, and he's just never going to have more fantasy value than he does staying where he is. Especially, I mean, I would say Detroit, but they already have David Montgomery, so he really needs to stay put. And he needs J.K. Dobbins to go away, and he needs Derrick Henry to not come to town. So he needs a lot of help for his fantasy value to maintain it. And then a wide receiver, he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We all love him. Diggs. I'm in on Diggs. I'm loving Diggs at his current price right now a lot. But obviously a lot of people are backpedaling fast on Diggs, and it's hard to fault him. What are your thoughts on the ongoing wars in Ukraine, Gaza, and Sudan? I'm conflicted. Billiam, Billiam, I like you, Electrixz. You're smart. Reesh says common Luke Yap. Reesh, do you ever say anything other than common Luke Yap? Do you wake up in the morning, common Luke Yap? I'm starting to worry. All right, so he's got Amon-Ra and Diggs at the top. That's pretty nice. It gets horrible in a hurry. Quentin Johnston. Yikes. Devontae Parker. Oh, Jesus Christ. Kadarius Toney. He's got Shakir. I mean, he's praying to God that Khalil Shakir is a thing in 2024. But if he is, that probably comes partially at the expense of Stephon Diggs, who he also owns. So he's got Mechie. He's got... Man, this is just... this team is rough. So his receivers are very top-heavy and kind of iffy. And then at tight end, it's pretty yucky. He's got Hunter Henry, who scored some touchdowns last year, but he's a free agent. Maybe he re-signs in New England, but I wouldn't particularly bet on it. Then he's got Hawkinson, but Hawkinson is going to be out for September to start the season in all likelihood. Yeah, I mean, this is just a team that's not going anywhere in 2024 in all likelihood. He doesn't have his first now either. He does have the early second. Yeah. I mean, the running backs, I think the running backs, if they hit to the higher end of the possible range of outcomes, and between Eckler and Henry, he gets something like 20-ish touchdowns, which is not outrageous. I mean, that's definitely doable. 20-plus touchdowns, you've got a potential like 7-7, 8-6 type team here. But that's kind of the top end for me. Yeah, this is not great for our boy, Mr. Scuoler. So we got to all kind of rally together to try and help him out here in 2024, boys, instead of picking his pocket and ripping him off. Ben, looking at you, Ben, thief. You talk about me being a scumbag in trades? Look in the mirror, asshole. All right. So from Scuoler on to who else we got? We got Gibbs and Nate. All right, so Gibbsy semi-reluctantly took on a team in here. It was Mike's old team. I kicked him out because I felt like it. So he takes on Mike's old team, and it's a pretty darn good team. I mean, this is a team that this team early on last year traded 2 firsts for Tyreek Hill, so they went all in, and it still has pretty much that whole core intact. He's got Josh Allen and Bryce Young at quarterback, so very good and very iffy. But I personally really like Bryce Young value-wise going into 2024. I tried to trade for Bryce Young from Gibbsy, and he slapped my hand away very hard. So he seems keen to ride with Bryce Young here for the foreseeable future. So obviously there's no third quarterback here. He's got Heineke, Trubisky, Stidham. So he could definitely stand to draft or otherwise acquire a viable third quarterback. Gibbs, Kyron Williams, I mean, that has the potential to be the best 1-2 punch in the league at running back. I don't think that's too crazy to say. Both those guys are going to be, top 18 picks in, one quarterback redraft leagues next year. So, yeah, his top-end running backs are muy nice. And then he doesn't have much else going on at running back, though. That's a little bit of a problem. Roschon Johnson, all the Roschon stands out there were left wanting, kind of like I thought would happen. I like CEH. Obviously he's a free agent. I'm kind of interested to see where he lands. I could see him having like a Devin Singletary-ish 2024 somewhere, maybe even in Houston. I don't know. So I like CEH as a potential solution to his third running back conundrum there. And Dowdle. I mean, the Cowboys are making it known they have no interest in spending money on running back this year. So I would expect Tony Pollard to be on the move. Where, I don't know. But, yeah, so Dowdle could be in line for some serious work in 2024. Dowdle is a major buy in fantasy leagues right now. I got to make a note to myself to do a YouTube about that. And then Gainwell's kind of like Dowdle. I mean, Swift is a free agent. He might re-sign. We don't really know what's going to happen. He might not. So Gainwell's a nice sit too there. So yeah, Gibbsy has some potential answers to his running back depth issues in-house already, so that's nice. And then at wide receiver, man, this could be a really nice wide receiver group. He's got Tyreek, he's got DK Metcalf, Sutton, Dobbs, Deontay Johnson, and then that's pretty much it. I had Treylon Burks. I still like Burks quite a bit. There's not much competition there in Tennessee at the moment, at least. And frankly, they really need to focus on offensive line. The Titans need help up front even more than they need receivers. So yeah, Burks shouldn't be pushed out by like a first round type receiver in 2024. I don't think. So yeah, the receivers are nice. I mean, he's got Deontay as his wide receiver 4. And I know I just was shoveling some dirt on the Steelers, but still, that's nice. Yeah, this is a championship contender. I mean, he needs Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, Tyreek to stay healthy. But he's got 4 guys that are consensus top 20 players, top 24 for sure, players in one quarterback redraft leagues. So yeah, Gibbsy is for real, boys. You gotta give him a wide berth because this team is juiced. All right. Last but not least, our buddy, the controversial, the eclectic, the iconoclast, Nate. All right, so Nate comes in and he takes over Harper's old team after Reish pisses Harper all the way off with a trade that Harper then quickly wishes, oh, actually, never mind, let's erase. Let's not do that trade. And Reish says, nah, sorry, you have to let me fuck you over. And Harper said, all right, well then, screw this league, I'm out. He quit the league. He quit all the other leagues. He quit the Discord. Thanks, Reish. Thanks a lot. That's why I still say your name wrong, even though you said it's Rish. I don't care if it's Rish. Now you're Reish. All right. So Nate's kind of weird. He says weird things, and he kind of does some weird things with his team, and he's already done that here. So he comes in and he trades away Anthony Richardson first and foremost. But he gets a lot of receivers. He gets like JSN. And who else did he get? Jordan Addison. I think all these guys are already gone. No, yeah, okay. So anyways, let's go top to bottom. So at quarterback, after the Anthony Richardson trade, he's got Mayfield and Aaron Rodgers. That's nice, Nate. Thanks, Nate. That's good. Okay, so his quarterbacks are terrible. Mayfield and Rodgers. Like Mayfield obviously had an okay season, but with Canales gone, he's primed for regression. Aaron Rodgers is ancient. So, yeah, the quarterbacks are real rough. He doesn't have a third quarterback. Yikes. The running backs are real rough. Najee and Devin Singletary. Najee's in a contract year. He really needs a good year here. maybe he gets it. The offensive line is not as bad as it was a couple years ago there, but obviously the Steelers are still the Steelers, so that's a coin toss to me. Devin Singletary, will he be back in Houston? Your guess is as good as mine. At the moment, he's a free agent in a very, very thick free agent class, so it's a buyer's market for sure. So we'll see. And then after that, Madison, Christ, he traded for Zach Moss, which I kind of liked as an upside trade, but yeah, Moss is a free agent. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Pierce, yikes, Christ. Okay, so he's got major running back issues. Wide receiver, he's got figured out. He's got JJ, Ayuk, Evans, and JSN. So I love that. That's definitely built for speed. He's got Jameson Williams too for kicks. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's a nobody, but that's just me. Lazard is roster filler. Yeah, okay. Parker Washington could find his way into like wide receiver 3 value in 2024. It is possible. I mean, Zay Jones is gone for sure. Calvin Ridley absolutely might not re-sign. And then it's just Christian Kirk and Parker Washington hanging out in a pretty pass-heavy offense. So I like Washington as a stash for sure. So yeah, the wide receivers are bulletproof. They're ready to go contend right now. Unfortunately, the quarterbacks and running backs are not. And then Nate also traded for Njoku. So he's got Njoku, Schoonmaker, old man Logan Thomas, Kylan Granson, Michael Mayer. Ugh. All right, so it's Njoku and a bunch of guys at tight end. And unfortunately, Nate is very freewheeling with his draft picks. He had a nice little war chest that Harper had mostly accumulated, but he traded like a couple seconds and a third and his 2025 first, his native first, to Reish for Njoku and the 1-7. So he's got 3 firsts this year all over the board. So that's nice. So he can reload quite a bit with that. If he takes Caleb, sounds like he might not take Caleb at 1-1 though, which is with his team the way it is, that would be a real poor move. Maybe he will take Caleb. I hope that logic prevails there. And then the 7, that's probably another wide receiver. Not that he really needs it. Maybe Bowers. And then the 1.11, your guess is as good as mine. How he's gonna ask that pick. But yeah, this team is, unless he can really hit hard on those firsts, this team is not going anywhere, which makes the trading of the 2025 first away not such a hot shit idea, Nate. I know you maybe think that you can work some magic here and you've got some nice pieces, but yeah, just looking at the rest of the league, knowing the median talent level of the rest of the league, frankly, I mean, there's some real players in here, so yeah, if that 2025 first lands in like the top 3, you're not gonna come out looking so good on this one, or at least on that trade. All right, so yeah, this team I don't think is a playoff team, just forest for the trees. But I mean, look at the receivers. He's got JJ, Ayuk, Evans, JSN. That alone, makes this a team that can any given week beat somebody. So yeah, interesting team. Please take I mean, if you were smart, you would take Caleb, I think, but knowing you're probably gonna take MHJ because oh my god, MHJ, JJ, Ayuk. Oh, it's the rosterbation wide receiver dream team that'll lead you to 4-10, something like that. All right, so did I stay under 30 minutes? Did I manage to? Yes, way under 30 minutes. All right, you guys are John in the fucking live stream chat. Reish says stop yapping, and I will. Do not free Reish over here. It's Rish. Electrixz says it's Nathan. He's not taking Caleb. Yeah, he probably won't. He probably won't just because we told him that he should, and he's the type of guy that you tell him, you really need to get insurance on your motorcycle. He's not gonna do it, and then he's gonna crash it and blame you for his bad luck. All right, boys. Well, that brings us home for the F1 2024 season outlook videos. Pack really wants me to do F2 next because he thinks he's got a championship team in there, and he's probably right. So, yeah, we'll start with that next. And as always, Reish, you are never allowed to trade in any of these leagues ever again.